Ladies and gentlemen and beautiful in-betweens, welcome, welcome to the Co-optional Podcast. This is podcast number, I can't remember. What number of podcast is this? This is a great
200 and 1,000.
200 and 1,000. Agreed. That sounds correct to me.
201,000.
I believe that this is the first co-optional podcast that I am running. So welcome to the potential shit show. We have two lovely people who agreed to be on today while Jenna is saving the world at Blizzard. Please welcome Mr. Razadoo Barry.
Hello.
Who is in a very familiar place near and
What are
dear
you talking about?
to my heart.
Never seen that place. Never seen that place.
And also the #1Alex.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Barry, do you want to give everybody a quick heads up on what it is you do?
Yeah, I'm squatting in Dodger's office, and that's about it.
That's the end. I like
Yeah,
it.
no,
Perfect.
I'm streaming on Twitch, and I'm doing stuff on YouTube. And, yeah, and I'm working out of Dodger's office because my internet is crappy at home, and she's a wonderful person. So
It worked out perfectly. I'm not using
really
it right
did.
now because I
Right.
have a small human, so it's great. I'm so glad somebody's using it.
it's been great. Thank you.
Yeah, and also the #1Alex, who's a lovely friend of ours. Alex, do you want to
Hey.
tell everybody what you do?
I strictly only stream on Twitch, but I do variety. I play all the new games that come out. I love Japanese titles. I love them. And I just moved into this place, and it's very empty, so sorry.
Your camera looks so professional.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah,
Oh,
you look so like
crisp.
crisp. Yeah, you got
crisp.
that like dramatic lighting, whether on purpose or not. It feels very
Actually, it wasn't on purpose, but thank you.
Oh shit! Now Jesse has dramatic
Darkness
lighting.
falls across the land.
I love your lighting, Jesse.
I'm at home. Hi, everyone. I'm not at all prepared for this podcast.
I like it. It's good. It's good shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
But thank you for having me.
of course.
Same.
of
Again.
course.
Same.
No.
Hi.
Thank you guys so much
Oh.
for joining. We just had TwitchCon. We're about to go into BlizzCon. So I think news-wise, that's mostly what we're going to talk about. I was hoping that I know that Alex, you went to TwitchCon. Jesse and I
Yes.
did not. Barry, did you go to TwitchCon?
I did not.
Oh my gosh,
the
Alex,
only
it's
one.
entirely up to you
Give
to
us
tell
the
us.
deets.
You have to give us the atmospheric such and such.
You want me to?
Sorry, what? The what?
The atmospheric such and such, and so
is that?
forth.
What does that mean? Time out. What's that mean?
I want Alex to paint us the picture. What is it like to be? What was it like to be at TwitchCon 2018? They've moved. So for anybody who doesn't know, they've moved where TwitchCon has happened every single year.
Yeah.
So there isn't like coming back to the same place. Let's see how it's different. It feels different every year regardless.
It's like a haunted carnival. Just you never know when it's going to pop up.
You know, it's identical to a haunted carnival. Yes.
I agree.
But there were some cool announcements and things that happened. But yeah, just overall, how was TwitchCon, Alex?
It was great. I mean, like it was at the San Jose Convention Center was apparently renovated and stuff. It was all nice and clean and fancy. As for area wise, there was a lot of good food places around. Everything was great in my opinion, except I think the convention center might have been a little bit too small for the capacity that there was, because the first day, oh my god,
It was a
like
crazy line, right?
4 hours long, maybe even
There was that
longer,
big
actually.
sign that said like
Yeah,
"Get in
it was
here,"
so
and then
bad.
just like an ironic line.
And they kind of screwed up on that part.
Yeah, can I ask a crazy question just about the con in general?
Yes.
Why do they keep moving it every year?
I think they're trying to feel out like this is my opinion, but like they're trying to feel out every area, like, oh, what's good for us. But I mean, I think San Jose went well, so maybe they'll stick with it. I don't know.
Cool.
Well, Twitch is in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's even
So I
closer.
bet
for them.
they loved it. being up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, they just switched offices, but I think they're still in San Francisco.
They're still in San Francisco. I think
Yeah.
they moved like down the street or something. Probably.
Well, the first time that I visited Twitch, I was like, why are they on a major road? I don't understand. They're literally, it felt like I was in the middle of San Francisco, and I was like, why would they do this? Why would they do this? This is crazy. So, yeah. Yeah, but it was good.
Yeah, it was good. Merch lines were crazy, of course, as always. You know, I'm actually wearing some merch right now.
Oh, I actually couldn't tell.
I don't know if you can see the logo.
I
Very
stylish.
stylish. It's one of those like.
Oh, there it is. Oh.
Yeah, and then also.
Oh my gosh! Literally head to toe bleed purple.
Well, I mean, this is only for at home. So.
It's a
bleeding
cult.
purple everywhere.
It's a cult. Guys, get them out. Get them out now. We have to do one of those things where, like, we send someone in to have to pull you out of this cult, because eventually you're gonna be bleeding purple on everyone, and that is dangerous.
I'm not a part of any cults. What are you talking about?
Winku.
It's a cult. You're done. You're finished. I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh. So some of the announcements that they did were cumulative subscriptions. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a thing. For anybody who uses Twitch a lot that has ever been like, I skipped a month, or I had to stop subscribing for a little bit because of money or by accident or anything like that, they're now going to have two separate numbers. There's going to be the streak number, but there's also going to be your cumulative amount of time subscribing. So if you ever have to take a month or a few months or a year or whatever and come back, it'll include any time that you have been subscribed before, which is something that people have asked for a long time. And to be honest, I was always a big naysayer. I was like, they're never going to fucking do that, because that takes away an incentive for people to keep spending money, right?
They want you to put in your credit card number and just let it ride.
And just leave it forever, yeah.
So, yeah. I think it's super exciting, though. It's cool to see Twitch listen to what people adamantly have asked for years.
I think last year
it took a while, but
I think last year is when they announced sub gifts, wasn't it? And
when was that? Wait, was it?
I don't know. It feels like it was so recently, and yet at the same time,
yeah. You tend to forget, like, because they add so many things.
But sub gifts was another thing where I was like, I don't understand why they haven't done that yet. And when they finally did it, now it's like taken off into, now you can do community gifting and all kinds of stuff, right? The other thing that I've seen a lot of people talking about is VIP status, instead of people being mods so that they stand out. Instead of moderating your friends, even though they're not mods, you can just make them VIPs. Some people were saying that will mean they get like their own chat room and stuff, which I don't know if that's right.
I don't remember that part.
I should probably be a professional and go look this up, but
you could be right, though.
I mean, you can create rooms with restrictions.
That's what I said too. I was like, well, you can already do that, so I'm not sure if that's like a different.
I've never messed with rooms. I don't really get it.
Yeah.
Not what I'm doing. I get it if you're like doing an esport and you're like, okay, here's different chats for different reasons, but
sure, I get it if say that like the same group of people watch the same person every day and they're like, we're friends, let's have our own chat. I get that.
But then you could just do that in like a third party client. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you could just be like, this is a VIP room. So I don't know. I think it's just neat because I just like making little assets to just put all over the place. So if it's another thing I can customize, then I'll just make some little something.
Oh, this is another thing. They've been doing kind of like a YouTube version of this, like beta testing it. I only know that because I hung out with the Achievement Hunter guys at Rooster Teeth, but squad streaming was, I guess, another thing.
That's cool, actually.
Like the multi-Twitch.
Yeah, basically a multi-Twitch. So up to 4 people can say like, we're all playing the same game right now, so here's like the channel page for all of us together. And you can swap between like 4 different points of view, basically.
And it's swaps between their chats too, I think. whichever one you make the primary.
Yeah, that's
view.
how it is.
Yeah, that chat next to it.
Yes, chat is linked to whichever channel a viewer is selecting as their main view. So they can hang out with their friends or jump to a new community with just a click. Oh my. Yeah.
Ooh, that copy.
That was something they would have to do because
Right.
multi-streaming, there are too many other websites that have created a multi-stream.
There's like Cadgar, there's multi-Twitch, there's
multi-stream.
multi-stream. Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah. So it's a concept. It's in Twitch's best interest to look at the things that people are going somewhere else for and to just implement that into the website in general. So
Yeah.
But yeah, was there anything else that you guys can remember that you heard about, or Alex that you were hearing about, or anything that you saw that you were like, oh, this is like a big deal, I think?
That was pretty much it on when it comes to announcement, as to my knowledge, unless I did miss some stuff. Because I actually wasn't. I was stuck on the merch line while they were doing the big announcement.
That's pretty
It paid
funny.
off though. It paid
did.
off though.
I actually spent $400 on merch. It really bad.
Woo!
I know.
$400?
I know.
Alex,
I know.
bleed purple.
I'm bleeding.
Nicole,
I'm bleeding
this is how
purple.
Scientology got started. I'm just letting you know. Nicole, you're just paying in. You got to get to the 33rd degree or whatever the fuck, and then, yeah, oh, you're done.
You know what? I don't know. Like a lot of I talked to this about with the other streamers, and like a lot of them say like I don't really like wearing Twitch stuff, and then I say like I don't know. Like I actually like to wear Twitch gear, but it's bad when I go outside because immediately people ask, "Are you a streamer? Are you a streamer?" And then I just have to say,
Really?
"Oh, I just love Twitch." That's it, really.
I bleed
I
purple.
love Twitch.
Sam and I
Yeah.
went to I think I've told this story on Co-optional before actually, but Sam and I went to a diner when we were living in our old place. We went to a diner that was nearby, and there were two people in their like Twitch jerseys with their names on the back, and we were also wearing our Twitch jerseys with our names on the back, and we were like, oh no. It's like quick just
It's like an awkward family reunion.
Can't say no.
Oh.
Well, like anybody, even if you didn't know what Twitch was, right? You'd be like, "Oh, these four people, they're associated somehow." We were like, "We're not. We don't know each other." Fuck shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't think I've worn mine outside since then. I just wear it at home because I'm like, I don't. What if I run into somebody who's like, "Oh, bad."
Yeah. I just bought a Twitch T-shirt. That's all my bleeding
Nice.
purple, but I like it. I like wearing it.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the color purple a lot, so it's fitting. It's
So
the
there
color
you
of
go.
my.
Color of royalty.
It's the color of
It
royalty.
is.
It's the color of evil. Usually purple's an evil color. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't heard
Maybe,
of
maybe that's a thing in like
Disney.
folk or maybe Disney.
It's definitely like.
Yeah.
what
They
was the word purple?
You tend to have primary like reds and blues as protagonists, and like purple and green are
Do you think
evil.
that that's
That's just
because
the Joker.
purple is sometimes associated with royalty, and thus it's all a story about raging against the machine? so
power
to speak?
corrupts or
That's
something?
what I've heard
Maybe.
about Barry.
That he rages against the machine. That's
Yeah,
what
he's
I
Barry
hear.
against the bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
Very against the bourgeoisie.
Absolutely.
Start a band.
Gonna rename my stream Barry Against the Bourgeoisie,
I love it.
but I'm still, getting a paycheck from Amazon, so yeah,
Sure, yeah.
why not? Mm. The machine.
Yeah,
Which is slipping
we
cash in
do
my
get.
pocket.
God, isn't that true? Get a
Yeah,
paycheck,
and then
from
I
the
give it
machine.
back to them because then I buy stuff off Amazon. It's great.
I've been making an effort to not buy as much stuff on Amazon to like actually make myself go and buy things in stores.
Where else do you go?
I know.
Where is there to go?
It sucks because most of the time I go somewhere thinking, surely I'll find this thing here, and then I don't. I'm like, should have just fucking got it on Amazon.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks.
sucks.
What is
Or
this
you go
world
and
we're
you're like-
living in where I have such high expectations? Why can't I find identically what I need?
I went to an Office Depot the other day, which those are very depressing if you haven't been to one in the last decade,
Yeah.
because there's
Oh.
like 5 people walking
is fun.
around
Yeah,
Really?
nice. I
Yeah.
think mine is from an Office Depot like years ago. Yeah.
You know, Office Depots are shit. They're
I
not.
was trying to sugarcoat it, but yeah.
No,
Office
they are,
Depot. It's a piece of shit. Buy your chair there.
It's purgatory in there. You walk in,
It is.
it smells musty. Everyone in there looks like they couldn't be asked to go to like a Walmart because they'd be too weird if they went to a Walmart. Everything in there is like, if you have an office and you want 18 pounds of Cheetos, that's there too. It's
It's weird. It's weird and it's
weird,
bad.
yeah.
very strange.
But then you go there and you're like, well, I guess I could get a keyboard here or something, and then you can just look it up on Amazon. Like, they have a better thing for cheaper. So even when you're there, it's like the conveniences. I get it now. I'd have a terrible human interaction. That's what you're paying for by going to a brick and mortar store, unless you're going to like a mom and pop shop. But
Sure.
that's
Yeah,
different.
that's the
than,
thing. Like, when you buy from Amazon, you're not like giving back into the community that you're in. But I'm in like a Los Angeles area, and it feels like the community is basically non-existent anyway. It's depressing. Why am I here?
Oh,
LA has little pockets that are like, oh, there's culture and people,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
have to really work to get to one of those kinds of places.
When I walk around, every now and then, someone will leave their house and will make eye contact and say hi to each other, and I feel this swell of community. And I'm like, it's really sad that that's all it takes for me to be like, oh my God, I'm in a neighborhood with other humans. We said hi to each other.
Sometimes I nod at the postman and he just kind of looks at me and I'm like, today was a good day. There we go. I feel like I'm living in a 50s sitcom.
is that human interaction now? Is that where we're at? Is that
Yeah.
people are like, I saw a person, so I'm good.
So, I mean, you can get your
Oof.
groceries delivered. So yeah, I think yeah, that's it. We did it. Nailed it.
No reason to go outside anymore. It's great.
Why bother? Yeah.
Why bother?
I love staying.
Sad. Oh, Alex is like, this is my utopia. I don't have to leave.
Yeah, I love being here
Mhm.
in this empty place
Oh.
full of emptiness. No.
Is that a little panda thing behind you? What is that?
Oh, do you know?
That's part of the $400
Baru?
purchase that he
Oh,
made.
it's the
It's Twitch's
Baru.
new mascot.
Well, he
Oh, you got a
And a
literally
Dragon
is-
Quest slime.
Oh, nice.
yeah. I did this this hosting gig at Tokyo Game Show, and then they pulled me on the Japanese stream because I speak Japanese, and Square Enix specifically asked for me to be on it. I don't
That's
know
so
why. They
cool.
just like because they saw me playing Dragon Quest 11, and they're like, "Oh, let's bring that guy on." And they gave it to me. I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" Here, let me bring it. It's so cute.
Oh,
my God.
Look at that
It's an
cute.
angel slime.
Barry!
Oh.
Barry, you have a slime too! Barry!
There's one back there.
Barry,
one
you have a
back
slime! Psst.
I don't want to break anything.
Oh, Barry!
Oh, God. Oh. This-
Yeah, it's not an angel, but it's still cute.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Oh.
buddy.
There's so many Bulmas here. I was scared I was going to break one.
I know.
There literally is. When I went in there that one time, oh my god, I was surprised.
I know, I have a problem.
I don't have a slime, but I do have this.
Whoa! Wait,
That's cute.
is that safe for Twitch?
That's real cute.
What's
It's
going
just
on there?
His little belly button's moving in a circle, and that's all
He
that's
does a
happening.
dance,
That's
so
really
I have that. Is that good enough? Am I cool now?
Dude, that's the protagonist of Dragon Quest 15, so you got the hot scoop.
Hey. All right, then moving along from TwitchCon, we're coming up on BlizzCon as well. They've announced that nothing is going to be announced specifically for Diablo. Is that correct? Which people are
Did they
like,
say that?
There ain't gonna be nothing for Diablo. Everyone's like excited for Diablo 4, but that's not gonna happen. So get unexcited, internet.
yeah. So what are they going to announce? Predictions?
Warcraft 3.
Sick.
Never happening.
No?
Not occurring.
Really?
Maybe, you know what? If
That'd be-
anything, it's gonna be remasters. Maybe like a Diablo 2 remaster or a Warcraft.
Well, what if
3
they do
remaster.
like Warcraft 1 and 2 like they did StarCraft?
Sure, I can see that happening, but I think like when it comes to new stuff, we'll maybe get like Diablo 4 is eventually coming. And they'll do the same thing they did at Bethesda where they're like, here's a scene that has nothing to do with anything. And then,
a logo that's temp.
Yeah. I think for everything else, we'll literally get like a character or a map. And then
Great.
World of Warcraft, like, here's patch 8.2 information. And then there'll be nothing for StarCraft, and that'll be it. I don't see it being like, we had a secret game that we've been developing for 5 years called...
You don't think there will be anything...
Slapnuts. What?
You don't think there will be anything that feels big?
I'm sure a lot of people will lose their shit over Warcraft Classic. Because I know everyone that I talked to is very excited for that, except for me. Because I was alive then and played it, and it was not fun. Original Vanilla WoW was like, go back, remind yourself, just think back on that for a little bit. It was never fun. It was just better than anything else that existed.
Can we get some maybe I'm olds in chat, please? Yeah, I never played Warcraft. My first like hop into the Warcraft universe was World of Warcraft, and I only played vanilla World of Warcraft. So I'm very detached, disassociated from Warcraft in general. Which I think is why I also am not excited for Warcraft Classic, because I don't have any expectations for it or any,
It's just people trying to like relive the good old days. But like the good old days required 14 hours a day of playtime. Like you have to be really invested in the good old days.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I don't have time for that anymore. I like the fact that Warcraft is super casual friendly now. I log in, I'm like, daily done, took me 20 minutes. See you tomorrow, Warcraft. Like that's great for me.
Yeah.
I love that shit. So yeah, I don't know what people expect, but there are people who are very, very excited. So I'm not going to hate them for being excited for something that I think is like whatever. But that's what I think of most things. So
do you think after Classic comes out and everyone plays the vanilla servers and it's great again, and then the hype dies down, that they'll then release Burning Crusade on the vanilla servers, and then you'll just have this weird stagger release of all the content?
Oh no.
And then we're just stuck in where then eventually people want another third
Then people want another
server.
vanilla, yeah.
And then we just keep going back to the present over and over.
You just get to redo it all over again. I don't know what the actual game mechanics are going to be, because I think in like a perfect world, it would be vanilla content with Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King mechanics.
Like best of all the worlds combined.
Yeah, like they take everything they learned over
and
the
then
3
and
expansions
present day
and then,
models, right, is what people want.
I have no clue what it's gonna like. I've seen screenshots that I don't know are real or not. People are like, it looks like the old school shit. So I don't know. I have no clue. I have no idea. I haven't dug too deep into it because, like I said, I'll play it because I imagine that first week everyone's gonna be like, guys, let's play. But after that, I have no invested interest in it just because it's a lot. Like it took time to do anything. From level 50 to 60, there was nothing to do. It was just grinding and killing. The dungeons, Blackrock Depths took you a day to go. Like you were there that was so long. The raids are long as shit. Like it was at the time revolutionary, but that was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I don't...
Times have changed.
Yeah. But I'm more excited for all the other things. Like, I really want a new Diablo. I know we're not going to get one, but I'd love that. And I would love a new RTS, but I know we're not going to get one, but I'd love that. And it'll be fun to see who the new Overwatch hero is, or who the new... like, what the new Hearthstone expansion will be, or who the new Heroes hero will be, or whatever. But, yeah, I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy this year. We'll see. Every time I say that, one of my many Blizzard friend employees is like, really? You think? And I feel like it's them being a dick and not actually having information. Like,
right.
I was like, I do think that. I do think that. And I think you're just trying to mess with me. I think that this might be a make your own fun year. So we'll see.
Well, they have Didn't I read that they're having 3 different musical guests? It's like
Yeah.
Lindsay Sterling
Whoa.
and Train
And Hodor is going to be there.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
is-
that's right.
Different.
That's
It's
actual
very
con?
different.
Yeah,
Or
so
like
they
Jordan.
always so every BlizzCon, like the last day, they have like a big concert.
Okay.
But this year they have 3 like totally different styles of music.
Oh my god.
That is interesting.
It was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. This year it definitely seems interesting. I don't know what I think this is also the first year they're not doing it through DirecTV. Maybe they didn't do it through DirecTV last year, but this year it's all like they've been doing run-up shows and things online, and they're trying to make your ticket worth it. And so they're doing a bunch of stuff. And so in the past, like last year, they had Muse, and they've had Tenacious D and Foo Fighters and Metallica and Linkin Park and Ozzy. Like they've had bands that play the last night. And this year, I think like just they threw out everything, and they're trying to figure out what sticks.
Yeah.
Because it is some of the logistics of when you look at the scheduling seems a lot less. We're going to talk about games, and a lot more, hey, community. You're what really makes us sparkle, which is like the BS way of getting around the fact that you have nothing to show. It's like, hey guys, it's really about all of you and not us.
Mhm.
It's like,
Right.
people are paying a ton of money to come to this thing. Like, you better have shit to show. So we'll see.
What does the digital ticket normally include for BlizzCon?
In the past, it was just BlizzCon. You would have recorded panels. You could watch it live. The end show, and you would get. Recently, they started giving you the goodie bag, but you would also get like I don't know. Maybe they don't give you the goodie bag. I think they just give you collectible online stuff for the games.
Okay.
So like this year, you get a cloak and a banner for Warcraft. And,
Sure.
in Overwatch, you get a thing that makes Sombra look like the demon hunter from Diablo, like that kind of stuff. But in the past, you would just get the show. Now they're doing like a bunch of early access stuff and promotional videos and behind the scenes things with Darren DePaul and all this stuff. So like trying to offer more, I think, because it's being produced in-house. But I also think they don't have the production setup of like a DirecTV or something like that. So I think they're trying to like figure their way out through it. I have no clue. I truly don't know, but
Gotcha.
we'll all find out together.
Yay!
Yeah.
I can't wait. Cool.
That's this weekend?
That is
Yeah,
this
it's
weekend.
this weekend.
Okay.
And chat's right. They kept saying there's no big Diablo announcement, but then they were like, our first big panel is about Diablo. So I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. I'm hoping it's good.
Have they ever outright lied and been like, we have nothing to announce, and then they drop like Hearthstone or something? Like,
Yeah. When they announced Overwatch,
they said they had nothing.
When they announced Overwatch, the whole thing was we have nothing. Like they did not hint at it at all. The only people who knew were people who were in the know in the building. Everyone was very quiet. But the thing is that year they left the first panel space blank. So everyone sort of assumes that if the first panel space is blank, or the first panel, whatever it is, that's the big announcement. And so this year, it wasn't blank, it was just Diablo. And so that's like a huge announcement. So I'm hoping we'll see like Diablo 4 is coming. But it also could be just
New IP.
it could be
New IP.
Diablo, like, I don't know, Diablo. There's an animated series possibly being made. There's it's by the same people who made Castlevania for Netflix.
I was just about to be like, oh shit, that would be cool if it was, kind of along the same lines as Castlevania. That's funny.
Yeah,
Great.
there's I mean, it could just be Diablo 2 remaster. Who the hell knows? The panel's called like the future of Diablo or something like that. I have no idea.
Wouldn't that be crazy though if they're like, hey, here's this Diablo panel after the main keynote, and then instead they announce a new game, and then that
crazy.
panel
That'd be amazing.
walks out in the last second? That would be that'd be really neat.
I don't. The problem is in the run up to Overwatch, there was Project Titan, so everyone knew there was a thing,
Right.
and no one knew that's what it was going to become.
Whereas
And
if they're
so-
working on something big, there'd probably be like leaks from hiring boards and like all kinds of
Oh.
indication
none
they're
of
ramping
that.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, which is, I think everyone just wants something amazing, because BlizzCon used to be every 2 years, and so every 2 years when you
Right.
go, they drop something big on you, and you'd be like, oh. And then they started doing it every year, and I think because they did it every year, it's less. Even though it's an event for people to attend, the content is less for us and more for investors and shareholders and people who are like, good, you're making money and creating content. Carry on.
Mhm.
Good show, good show.
We'll see. I spend most of my time there, like just drinking and playing games. So
That's great.
yeah, it's just a chill. It's a chill convention that I don't give too much of a shit about, like what it ends up being in the end. It's just you want to see something cool because you want to have something new to play and something fun to do when you're there. Because at the end of the day, you only have access to the 6 titles that Blizzard has at the moment.
Mhm.
So you're only playing those things. And once you're done with them, it's like, do you want to go back and play again? So when there's new stuff, you're just like, yeah. When Overwatch came out, we must have played that 12 hours a day, every day at BlizzCon. We went to the media room and just beat the shit out of like reporters from IGN, and it was amazing. We just started making comps, and like I said, I'll never forget one of the people, I think it was GameSpot or someone, was like, "This isn't even fun," and like got up and walked away.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Really?
great.
You
So
soured
good.
their opinion of the game. That's
Yeah, I ruined it for them.
that's a
Yeah,
triumph.
literally, we're just like,
We went 5 Bastion, and they were not prepared.
That's awesome.
amazing.
So
Cool.
we'll see what happens. BlizzCon
Yeah,
could
we'll
be very,
see.
very cool.
Well, in the meantime, what have you guys been playing? Alex, I know that you were at TwitchCon, but what's been on your docket? What have you been spending your time on?
Well, I don't know if you remember the game Brave Fencer Musashi. 20
Oh,
years
that's
ago.
a great game.
Oh my
I
goodness.
played that right before I left TwitchCon. I did it in one sitting. It was like 21 hours or so. I loved it. It was so good. I remember it being amazing. It was still amazing. And then also before that, I was doing some Dragon Quest 11, which by the way was amazing. I don't know if you guys played it.
No, I haven't played. When did
Dragon
that come
Quests
out?
are always good. Like, for the record, they're great games. And it's not very US. Like, people in North America aren't, like, super into them, which I think is sad, because,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
they're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to work with or I used to live with someone from Square Enix, and he was always trying to push me to play Dragon Quest, play Dragon Quest. I'm like, I don't know, because I had never played one, and then I finally gave Dragon Quest 11 a try. That was my first one. I was blown away as to how good it was.
Right.
And I even want to talk about it, but it involves spoilers, so I can't.
Play 8. While you're at it, go back and play 8. That game's so good.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about doing that. A lot of people are suggesting that.
Shout out to my boy Yangus.
Yeah,
Where you at?
Yangus.
Yangus.
And then also, of course, Fist of the North Star. That was like maybe like close to a little less than a month ago. The Fist of the North Star, that game that was based off the Yakuza engine, was
Right.
so good, so meme worthy as well. I loved it. But yeah, those are the games that I played recently.
Cool. Yeah, sadly, I haven't played any of those, so I can't rap with you about them, but
Gonna play them.
I can't play them. What out of those, what would you say is like you have to play this game?
Dragon Quest 11, hands down.
Okay.
That actually might. I mean, I hate to say this, but that might be my game of the year for sure.
Really?
Yeah, it was that good. Like,
Oh.
I just loved, and you know, the Dragon Quest 11, the Japanese version actually didn't have voice acting, which is actually insane to me because I can't even imagine the game without it, because the voice actors brought so much life to all these characters. It was
Right.
it was so weird to even hear that, you know. So yeah, I definitely suggest that.
As someone who's not super into JRPGs, would you still recommend it?
It definitely. See, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you love JRPGs, it's a game to play. If you're not a fan of JRPGs, then it's really a hit or miss with people actually, because people might not like the mechanics. Me, I was just like, oh, this is so good the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't get sick of it, you know. So it's just
Is
gotta
it
try it out.
is it super linear, or is there like lots of extra stuff to do? Because I tend to do better with like linear JRPGs, and when there's like tons of extra stuff, I get a little overwhelmed.
It is pretty linear. There isn't like too many like side quests. I think there was a total of, maybe I'm probably wrong, like 60 total. But I mean, they're not like too crazy and like you have to go like everywhere or anything. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a good balance of everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Barry? What have you been playing?
I've been playing spoopy games for October.
Oh shit!
Not
like what?
scary games, because I'm a wuss.
Spooky games. You know
Spooky
what,
games.
Barry? I feel you.
Right.
I love dark games and I love thriller games.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. If a game is like our primary mechanic is you're running from something, I'm out.
Right.
I'm out. I can't play that
Yeah.
shit.
Like I haven't streamed it, but I played and really enjoyed Dead Space when it came out.
Dead
And it's
Space
like
is
in that
great.
game they go boo, but then you blow it up. So you're like, okay, I feel
Right.
better about myself.
Yeah,
But when it's like
that's the other thing. If the game is like you have to hide because you apparently can't use weapons at all.
I hate that too.
I hate
Yeah.
that. I hate that.
You can't even stun them or stagger them. You're just defenseless.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
no,
just
no,
have to
that's
run.
not me. That's not me. I hate it.
Yeah.
So I played through Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. I didn't play that in forever. Right now I'm almost done with Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem for the
Okay.
GameCube, which is famous for its sanity meter. So when you get super crazy in that game, it starts playing tricks on you, but it's designed to be played on a CRT. So like at one point they turned the volume down on me and it had these green bars going down. And I'm like, yeah, this doesn't really work on a LCD monitor, but nice
That's pretty
try.
funny though.
Yeah, I mean, it came out like 2003 or something. So I'm almost done with that. I played Return of the Obra Dinn, which I think
Oh
you
my
played.
god!
Peter.
Yes.
That game is
Tell me
so
how you
good.
feel. It's so good, right?
It's so good. It's by Lucas Pope, who did Papers, Please. I think a lot of people know Papers, Please. This is his second game.
Yes.
I want everyone to buy this game and play it. It's so good.
It's fantastic. How many fates do you have locked in, Barry?
I finished the game, but without 100%,
Okay.
because it was at the end of like a 6-7 hour stream, and I was like, I need to go home, and I just need to get off the boat and see what happens. Even though it's like,
Sure.
if you don't get 100%, you don't get the last chapter.
Right.
I think I only finished with like 30% locked
Okay.
in.
I have 30 out of 60 fates locked in right now.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
I had that
exhausting.
little wheel like a quarter of the way. It
Yeah.
was like,
The details that you have to pay attention to in that game are actually astounding. Like the way that all of the different scenes are set up, where you're like, wait, does it?
do you want to elevator pitch the game real quick for people that don't know?
Oh, sure, yeah. So
Because it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird and it's so nerdy, but I love it.
it's great. The Return of Obra Dinn is basically a game where there's a ship called the Obra Dinn that has gone missing. It's shown back up, and you work for an insurance company that needs to know what happened to this ship. So you're sent out there with a magical watch, and this watch lets you basically incept into the remains of a person. So we board the ship, we find a skeleton, and we use our watch to see their final moment. You can hear their final, the final conversation that they ever heard, and you're transported into the snapshot of the second that they died. You can walk all around, see where everyone who was involved is, see what was going on the ship at the moment that they died. And I use the word incept because if you find another dead body in that final second of their life, you can then see the final second of that person's life and the next person's life and the next person's life to try to piece together what occurred and how these people died. The whole game is about just painstakingly looking at these moments and listening to these conversations and trying to figure out who every single person on the ship was and how they died. So the game refers to them as fates.
You have some tools. You have the manifest of the ship,
Yes.
which has the names of everyone, their position on the ship, if they were the captain or a boatswain or just a passenger or whatever, their country of origin. And you also have a photograph of everyone who's on the ship, but their faces are blurry until you actually see them in a death sequence, or it's not a dream sequence, it's a death sequence. And you have like a map of the boat. There's a glossary of terms if you're like me and you're not familiar with 18th century vessels. So that's why I'm saying it's super nerdy, because you fall hard into this game.
Oh my God.
And it's so good.
It's
and
incredible.
I want everyone to buy it and play it so Lucas Pope can keep making crazy things.
Right? It's so I was telling everybody, I think last co-optional, I was talking about this game a little bit, and I was saying that I played the demo for this game like a few years ago. Yeah.
It was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. And I was like, this game seems crazy, and I don't entirely understand what it is, but I'm curious. And when I saw that it was actually released, I was like, oh shit, that game came out, and it's so much like above and beyond what I thought it was going to be. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I plan to 100% it completely. I'm just not sure yet if I'm going to stream it or not, but I know I want to, because that's the meat of the game. It's like playing The Witness and being it and being like, I'm done. It's like there's so many puzzles you can avoid and beat that game. You gotta do it all. That's the game. Yeah. So I want to do it.
It's so fun.
So good,
man.
Oh,
what a good game. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're enjoying it. Yeah. I will say, and I said this last time too, after playing that game for a certain number of hours, I had a heinous headache because of the way that
art
it looks.
Style is intense.
Yeah.
But maybe a different color palette would help. I didn't have any problems, but I totally get that.
Yeah. I do think that the monitor style that they start you off with is the best one. Like, it's the easiest on the eyes, but yeah, sold. Just for you, anybody who's looking for a crazy headache, get this a crazy headache and
use the Commodore filter, which is like blue and blue. It's great.
Jeez. I think the LCD seemed like the biggest nightmare. Just
that was the green and black one, right?
Stark black and white.
Oh yeah, black and white. Yeah. Yeah. The starting one is good. I played with a controller, which might have made it a little bit less rough as well, because it meant the turning was smooth. Because if you haven't seen this game, just look up the trailer for it, and you'll just go, okay, this game is insane. Yeah. And if you're curious about how it was made, the developer, he had a long-running development blog where he was posting about, hey, I'm making this crazy game with this crazy art style, and here's all my weird problems I have to solve, and him figuring them out in real time.
What?
And I was reading that blog for a long time, and I was like, he never really got into spoilers, but I was like, eventually I was like, I need to just take a break. If you want to learn about dithering techniques in video games, look up this forum post, because it's great. He tried so many different things, because he's like, I'm working with a 3D model of a ship, but I want it to represent light and dark with one color. It's monochrome the entire game. So it's fascinating stuff. He's a genius. He's a mad genius. And buy it, play it, love it. I'm done.
It's so good. Yeah.
It's so good.
Absolutely. Got 2 people evangelizing for this game. Go play it. It's great.
You convinced my mom to play it last week, so...
Did she play it?
No. You just convinced her that she should.
Speaking of moms playing games, so I've been making my way back through Witcher 3, and my mom-in-law came to visit, and she was watching me play it a little bit and was like, oh my God, I think when I retire, this is what I want to do. And I was like, what? And she was like, I want to just play games like this that are just set in this kind of a setting, and I can just kill monsters and be in a fantasy world. She was like, this is incredible. And then, of course, like immediately after she said that, we came upon, I don't feel like this is a spoiler. There are crones. Not going to give you the like framework of the story around them, but there are like crones that you find in Witcher 3. And we met them, and they were horrifying. And she was just like, oh, Oh, like every time the camera panned back to them, she was just like, oh, just like horrified by them. And it was really, and she still was like, I would play this game. I'm going to play this game. I need to play this game. I was like, yeah, it's great. She was helping me decide on what to do with all of the storylines and stuff. She was like, it's very cerebral. This is a very cerebral game. I was like, yeah.
Nice bonding time.
Yeah, it was really cute. It was really cute. She loved it.
One of the few times I ever had an experience with my mom with games that was like a bonding moment was Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood. Which is maybe one of the least expected games. I tried to get my parents to play Journey when that came out, and they were just not into it. They're like, what do we do? I'm like, go forward.
You just walk.
You just walk. Yeah. But it just didn't quite click for them. But she really enjoyed, because in that game, there were a lot of like fourth wall breaking Da Vinci Code type puzzles where you had to look at famous paintings and find little hidden things. And she would like walk by and be like, oh, I want to, like, look at that. And it was just, I was like, sit down. I want you to care about the things I care about. Because otherwise she'd be like, oh, those video games are so violent and they have such terrible swears. And I'm like, yeah, they do though. You're not wrong.
I mean, true, but they offer more than that. I swear.
Yeah, it's Da Vinci's Code too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I can relate is what I'm saying.
Yeah, both Sam's mom and my mom were watching Sam play Red Dead Redemption, and both of them at different points were like, this game is incredible looking. Like, for people who don't consistently play games and see games, for them to look at a game like Red Dead Redemption is like, what the fuck? This game is gorgeous, you know, like, and that's such an interesting conversation to have with somebody where they're like, I didn't realize that games looked like this now, right? And obviously Red Dead is so new and it does look beautiful even by our like current standards.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just started playing it last night, and like, even for someone that plays video games constantly, I was like flipping out as to how beautiful it was.
It's so cinematic, right?
Yes.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. But yeah, my mom, the second that my mom was like, I've been watching Sam play that cowboy game, I was like, oh no. Because, you know, all Sam does is run into trees and hurt his horse. And it's just like, oh God. But she was like, that game it looks like a movie. Like, it's beautiful. It was cool. Yeah, just jumping off of the idea of like helping people appreciate video games when they don't really play video games. Like, it's really cool for somebody to be like, wow, games are beautiful now.
It's fun. It's fun when they have that, oh my God, this is amazing. And then 5 seconds later, like, oh, this is garbage. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop hurting that man.
Oh, are there flies coming out of her eyes? Oh.
That horse just pooped.
Who came up with this?
What sick
In
mind.
that animal?
It's great.
So Alex, you've played Red Dead. How do you feel about Red Dead?
It's great. It's overwhelming as usual when these games come out, but it's overwhelming even more because of just how many small little details like you have to go through. Like, at first, like, you know, when I started up the game and then they had the first scene, like, you know, tutorial to like loot things in places, I was actually kind of getting a little impatient because, like, you know, I'm used to games that, you know, you just loot things really quickly, just reaches over. And then like 3 seconds, you take an item and then go next.
Yeah.
I was going crazy about that at first, but I mean, they're trying to do like small things like that to make you more immersed in the game. And I started to appreciate it a little bit more.
Barry.
That's a huge red flag for me.
Yeah, I played it last weekend and I was like, this is too slow for me.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that. It's just like, it just feels so slow.
They're trying to immerse you, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a little too much.
I mean,
even some cutscene things are just like, wow, this is real slow, guys. Like this. The gun, the like re-equipping weapon stuff is a pain in the ass to me as well.
Oh, that
what
I
is
can't
that?
stand either. Yeah, just having to like constantly like take off like the guns off your horse every single time.
Oh.
I just want to keep the damn weapons.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
if I-
it's
if I-
immersive, it is real to life, but it's like it's a quality of life thing in a video game that I just literally don't care about. Like you can just let me have guns.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Right.
If I can shamelessly plug myself, I made a video a couple years ago about immersion, because my whole stance is like, there's two different kinds of immersion, and the immersion that they're striving for is this like immersion of like our own reality, our own existence, whatever. But it's like games don't have to be immersive in that way. Tetris is immersive. There's nothing about Tetris that represents our reality, but you get lost in it. Like playing Doom, like that's the game I think of when you're talking about like holstering your guns. It's like you carry an arsenal. You're not less invested in that experience because you have infinite guns on you.
Right.
Yeah.
But when they're like, hey, you have to loot his coat by you have to hold the sticks to wrap the coat over his shoulders and then pull it down his sleeves, and now you have this coat. I'm like, I don't care unless that's the game. If you want to make a game about taking off people's coats, that's fine. I'm here to be a cowboy and root and
Coat Check Simulator is good. First off, don't talk shit about Coat Check Simulator. Is one
Not
of
talking shit. Not talking shit.
CCS it has been.
Dude,
killing
the new patch is hype.
Yeah.
They put in trench coats. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you think it's easy to get those off, but it's not easy to get those off because they're
No,
a
it's
little
not.
too small, and people are getting. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, you get me, Jesse. No, it's like I haven't played Red Dead. I do want to play it, but
It's
hearing that kind of stuff, just like, oh, that's gonna make me so mad.
Well, probably this is gonna make you mad too. Going into a shop to buy something is probably the slowest thing and infuriating thing ever, because you just go in and then you have to go to the book, and then the book, he takes his sweet
It's like a
time
catalog,
to open
right?
the book. Yeah, and then like every like cursor moves slowly, and then opening the pages to like different categories. Excuse me. I was actually kind of losing it for a second. I was like, okay, come on. I just want a regular menu.
Wait, and then you're like, okay, I'd like to buy 2 horseshoes, and then he like closes the book and shuffles to the back room. It comes back. All right. Oh, I forgot something. It goes back behind the counter. Here you go.
What's worse is that if you accidentally close the book on accident, then you have to go back in the book.
No.
Holy shit. Oh no. I'm gonna get real mad if I play it.
I
It's a little
definitely.
too much.
I know people like Sam. Like Sam loves the feel of the game in general. And I know that there are plenty of people who are playing it and are just like, I love the pace of the game. You know, it feels right for me. But it's interesting that it's so divisive. Like whether it feels kind of sluggish and like it's wasting your time versus, I get it. You know, like I get the feel that they're going for, and I like it, you know? Yeah. I wonder if they deliberated on that quite a bit, because I feel like with any game, you have to sit there and say, okay, this is what we want, but these are the quality of life things that people expect from a game like this, you know? We talk a lot about how, we were just talking about Witcher 3. We talk a lot about how Witcher 3 has affected pretty much every open world game that's come after Witcher 3, right? Because there are things about Witcher 3 that wound up just feeling better and affecting gameplay in a positive way, where people were like, we should use that, you know? And if people playing Red Dead feel kind of like Rockstar said, these are some quality of life things that we're going to get rid of versus like take and improve, then I can see why somebody who maybe plays a lot of open world games or plays a lot of games that are kind of along those lines would say, I had expectations for how this should feel, and this doesn't feel the way I wanted it to. You know?
Well,
Go for it.
No, I was just say for me, I know exactly why I'm upset with the game. It's because I came off the like going into Spider-Man. I didn't know what to expect, but the game was like fast and fun, and the slow segments, people were like, this is slow. When you're like Mary Jane and stuff, I love that shit because it's sneaking segments, and it like switched up the gameplay. But it was a story that was told in a quick time. It like shit got done in that game. I was like, I beat that. That was so much fun. I explored this open world. I flew through the sky. Like, it was great. And then you hit Red Dead, and it's like, oh, we have to think about this. We have to be slow. And I definitely, truly believe Spider-Man ruined this game for me. Convinced of it. Convinced of it. Because
hasn't it always been Rockstar though? Their stories have always been very slow burners, even the GTA's.
Sure.
Yeah.
I never played GTA.
They like taking their time.
I remember disliking how Red Dead Redemption 1 felt, which is why I was not honestly looking forward to Red Dead Redemption 2. And it seems like I probably would not enjoy the pacing of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Sure.
But, you know.
Yeah, I only played a couple hours of Red Dead 1, but I do plan to play 2 at some point because I like I don't want to shit all over this game when I've never played it, you know?
Yeah,
just going
yeah.
off what other people have said about it. It's like, no, I bet there's
A
a
lot
lot
of
of it that I
people
would
love
enjoy.
it. A lot
of people enjoy it, and I feel like I would probably enjoy a lot of it, but that kind of stuff in particular is always a sticking point with me, where it's like, I played Far Cry 3 and 4, and when you loot an animal, you go whoop, and there's whatever you needed from them, you're done, and you're immersed in that world. You're always thinking about where you're going next and where the other animals are and what you want to do. It's not like you don't have to make things slow because real life is slow. You know, that's what makes me. It feels misguided to me. That's why I get frustrated.
This is also why I have always been confused about things like Farming Simulator, which is some of the most popular games in Europe, and I'm just like, just go live on a fucking farm. Why? It's the same thing. Like if you're into the fine details of riding a horse, and I was like, you know, go join a Wild West show. I don't fucking know. Like it's mostly just I get it, and I just think that I have outgrown games that are like, this will take you days to do a few things. It's like I just don't have time to do that.
Yeah, that's also a big part of it.
Despite like those like small little issues, I still think it's a pretty solid game.
I was gonna ask, like, we've been like harping on the negatives that were brought up, but overall, do you enjoy it? Yeah.
Yes, like it's great, and it's I personally think it's hilarious that you can put the cinematic mode like at any time whatsoever. So like usually,
yeah, you can switch cameras, right?
Yeah, I love to be an idiot, and I just do a lot of stupid things with it constantly. I've actually fallen off the cliff a couple times on accident because I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at chat. You know, texting and driving, by the way, probably the same thing.
Right, it's identical.
Don't text and drive.
Do the horses not have any AI that they'll be like, that's a cliff, I'm gonna not walk off that cliff?
Well, actually, see, you can do that. You can have it like follow the road if you want, but I was not doing that a couple times. I was
and you were like, I'm putting on manual pilot, taking off autopilot on my horse.
Yeah. So but like the controls are actually very in-depth. You do have to get kind of used to them, but I still think like it's pretty well made game. I'm actually enjoying it a lot. So
good.
It's really good. Yeah.
Cool.
Everyone's playing it, so I hope it's good.
Everyone's playing it.
Everyone is playing that freaking game.
The last couple of days I've gone on a Twitch and it's just like
yeah,
everyone
it's what everybody is playing. Oh.
Yo, but how about that My Hero Academia game?
Academia.
I didn't
even know it came
Academia.
out.
Sorry.
Wait, is
Boku no Hero?
Boku no Hero?
Yeah, Boku no Hero Academia.
Can I be Arumaito?
Can I be Bakugo? I saw the movie movie in theaters, and that was so hype.
I thought you had a Todoroki mug. I wasn't going to say anything.
Dude.
I do. I got.
I saw you drinking. I was like, that looks like Todoroki, but I didn't want to be like that guy.
Hi, I love you. I'm here talking.
Wait.
I'll type in chat in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, like about that game, I want to try it out. I don't know if you guys have.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
Great, yeah.
But it just, I felt like it wasn't even supposed to come out yet, and people were like, oh no, it's out. You can play it.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I totally forgot.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Jesse, would you like to hand us a picture or something? to use for your face?
So we're gonna go get more bigger ladder, I believe. Okay. Yeah, we'll be right back. Cool. Thank you.
This is like the maid situation all over again.
Oh man.
He can totally hear us.
I can totally hear you. Hi.
Oh,
Yeah.
he actually can.
So,
Anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you wanna give us a picture to use for you, or should it just say Jesse Cox in big letters?
I feel like everyone kind of gets what I look like, so that's
Great.
cool.
Okay. Sick.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. We were weebing out a little bit.
Hold on. And now I'm back. Okay. For a minute. For a minute, I'm back. They had to go get a bigger ladder.
Sick.
I don't want to look. For those who are curious, we had a rainstorm, like the first one in forever in LA, and my ceiling leaked.
Oh
So-
man, what the
That sucks.
shit?
Yeah, so I called guys to like fix it, and they showed up today. So right now, so that is happening.
Perfection. Good shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Yeah. Wait, is the Boku no Hero game out?
Yes, it's out.
Fuck.
I need to try it out. I just want to try it.
Yeah, I was offered a code, so I need to grab that and get deep in there.
I guess every game coming out around Red Dead was just like, we'll promote it after Red Dead hype
We'll
dies
just
down.
wait.
We'll just wait.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fallout 76 beta goes up in a little over 2 hours from now on PC.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
actually, I
there's
think it's
also
also
that.
on Xbox again. So,
Has anyone said how that beta's been? Has anyone tried it?
No.
Or anything?
I asked Bikeman about it while I was at TwitchCon, and he basically said it's great. Play with
It's
friends.
great.
But yeah,
Better,
He didn't
better
really
with
have-
friends.
yeah, better with friends. And from what I've seen, it seems better with friends.
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still gonna go at it regardless.
Yep.
But yeah, too many games. Too many games.
A lot of
At one
games.
point.
Yeah, Jesse last week recommended a game called The Missing, and I wound up playing all of
played
it. Yeah, I played all of it. Jesse played all of it. Holy shit, that game is fantastic. Like, it's actually really, really good. It's gonna be a hard game for some people to play, and I totally understand that because it's literally it's like kind of Silent Hill style where you're playing as this girl named JJ and you wake up JJ
Wait, it's a game by Sweary?
yeah, it's a sweary game.
Yeah.
So
What?
the game starts off and you are going on a date. You're going camping with your girlfriend Emily.
Oh, I played that.
You played The Missing.
It was amazing.
Did you finish
This looks
it?
crazy.
Yes, I finished it.
Yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, Barry, you should totally play this
But
game.
like huge
Yeah.
spoiler, like
It
that's,
is-
yeah,
it is
yeah.
like-
Not spoiling anything, but it's like
It's not-
it's so
it was just
good.
like, whoa, okay.
yeah.
It's not scary. Like, it's not like there's a few moments where you're like,
It's
oh
creepy,
my God.
kind of.
But
It's-
it's spoopy. It's like definitely up your alley for what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
this looks insane. I am down.
very it's very body horror. The whole game is like you realize like right at the beginning of the game that you can't die. And in order to progress to find
It's
your
so
girlfriend, you have to like mutilate yourself. So yeah, so it's like it's very body horror, like grotesque sometimes, but it's not really scary. I wouldn't say it's just like unsettling in a lot of ways. But the game as a whole, like when I finished the game, I was sobbing. Like it was like really emotional. It was like just a really good game. Like the full game was such a great experience. So yeah,
Cool.
I loved it.
definitely
I'm gonna check it out.
recommend that.
I have another one for you
Yes.
to check out. Go find the game The Hex. If you ever played Pony Island, which was a very messed up game about the devil inside your computer.
What?
Yeah,
Sounds like
I mean, no, it was actually a game about ponies. in
Yeah.
the island. Yeah, it wasn't. The Hex is a game about video games, if that makes any sense. So you are the game starts out and you're at an inn, and at this inn are a bunch of video game trope characters. And as you explore the inn with each of these trope characters, you unlock their past. And everything from their past is another sort of fun trope that's taken to that meta level that was done in Pony Island. So, for example, one of the stories is about how a guy was in a cooking game, but he was recruited to be in a fighting game, like all those fighting games that have different characters from different things. And he didn't want to fight, but he was put in a fighting game. And so he discovered the only way to get out of the fighting game was to become the best fighter ever to be like become OP and be patched out of the game. And so that's like your objective during that storyline. There's like a dark undercurrent, but when you finally get the story finally reveals itself, all the background is no longer game footage. It's like Kotaku articles and BuzzFeed articles about the game.
What?
Oh yeah, it's great. One of the games you play as Weasel Kid, and you're basically a mixture of Sonic and Mario. And you play through 3 of his games. And the first game, Steam reviews pop up. And it's your fucking friends on your Steam list doing the reviews. And I'm not going to spoil how it ends, but like it gets crazy.
Did you finish it?
I got to so I ended up playing. You eventually play the elf girl, and the elf girl, her flashback is an RPG, and she's so she's fed up with being in the RPG because it's the same loop over and over again. You save the world, and she's like, "What if we just let the bad guy win this time? Like, what if we just break the game?" And that's like the storyline for her. And as you play, a Steam like a stream chat, like a Twitch chat, pops up on the side, and I'm not going to spoil any of it, but like they help you. But there's one guy named Bandito7, who keeps spoiling everything, and chat keeps banning him.
Typical.
Amazing.
The mods in your chat keep banning him, and then everyone in chat's like, "Free Bandito, free." So in the middle, you're playing this RPG, but at the same time, there's a whole other story going on like that.
That sounds so
incredible,
interesting, actually.
Yeah.
The heck?
And then everything they set up, like there's layers to this. So there's a video game NPC like employment agency, and so there's a guy who keeps trying to keep the NPCs employed. But there's also, they keep referring to this boy who created the games and how he's like a genius, but there's something weird about it, because at the very beginning, if you go a secret direction, and I'm not gonna spoil how to get there, one of the characters you meet is like, if you bring me some coins, I'll tell you a secret. And so if you go back, you bring the person coins. So like, did you know that like smiling once a day brings sunshine? And she's like, I can't do this. I can't fucking do this. This game was built on the ashes of another game. And then she's like, sarsaparilla. You're like, what? And for the rest of the game, code words are sarsaparilla. Weird people say sass. And it's like, what the fuck is this about? So it is one of those games that is like layers on layers. And if you played Pony Island, you know that even after you beat it,
there's going to be more to do.
Even after you got the secret ending, there was another secret ending. And then when you got that secret ending, there was another one inside your computer where you had to hack your own computer to find the real ending. And that shit, that's why I still have that game. That save file is on a Diablo thumb drive in my office, and I will never remove it because #FreeSatan. You can't, like, it's amazing. That's one of my favorite games of all time because it's so meta and like crazy. And this is just like that. It doesn't have the idea of like you, the player, are involved in some way, but it definitely gives you the tropes of like all these characters' lives have been ruined by something, and you're not sure what, but it's unique. It's cool. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm actually legit going to check that out. Like,
same.
No joke.
The RPG, one of the RPG things that was really funny is one of the guys that you work, like, you have to go collect these orbs, and as you go off to collect this dragon orb, one of the other NPCs is like, yo, you know what, we've been through this so many times, there's just a wall hack over here if you just want to skip to the boss. I was like, no.
Amazing.
No. And I just went through, and it literally is like a gauntlet of guys attacking you, but you get, like, you find rare treasures and fun things, and at the end the guy's like, I can't believe we did that. But I was so over leveled that when I got to the boss, I was like, one shot, bitch. It was great. I was like, role playing games.
That's
this is what
amazing.
I do. Yeah.
That's so good.
I was just cracking up because chat is just hashtag free Satan.
Chat gets it. Chat understands.
I didn't
Satan.
even look it.
Yeah. The hex free bandito. Yeah. That was one of the funniest things I've ever when the chat pops up and oh my god, when you crit in the RPG, chat explodes like oh, or when you like go the wrong way, they're like fail, oh ruined. It's amazing. It is
This
so
lethal.
good. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm gonna check it out. That sounds sweet.
guys
And the missing.
Yeah. Both of those are
Definitely
really,
play the missing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember
Excuse me.
what else I've been playing. Jesse, did you have anything else that you've been playing?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing like a lot of Total War Warhammer.
Really?
Yeah, because I played the demo for Total War Three Kingdoms, and I'm like ready for that. I love the Three Kingdoms period. I love Total War games, so I've been like super amped for it. And I was like, shit, I need to play more Total War. So I went and made a Chaos game. I'm on turn 252.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I have the strongest army I've ever created, and I cannot be killed. But like, I don't know how you're supposed to beat this game, because there's an ebb and flow of all the nations, and if I like go in on one, the other ones sort of take the areas that I destroyed. But the whole map is just like covered in chaos juice. The world is destroyed, but I can't win because it's just if I focus on one, there's another wave. Like if I attack the Empire, the dwarves show up. If I attack the dwarves, the like forest elves show up. I'm like, what the I can't win. I don't know how to win as chaos, but I'm just like invincible. I just walk around killing everyone, and then waves of sentient awful life ruin it for me. I hate it. You know, but I'm still doing it.
I
I'm
really
trying to win.
enjoyed watching people play Total War Warhammer, but I never. It seemed like the sort of game that would overwhelm it.
The thing is, like, it seems overwhelming because at first it seems like there's a ton of shit to do, but you realize it's all like not even remotely. Right? It's strange. It's hard to describe because once you get it, you're like, oh, this is easy. Like, this isn't hard at all. It's kind of like Civilization in that way, where you think it's going to be overwhelming until you start playing it, and you're like, this is easy. This ain't even a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, if you play as Chaos, you literally don't manage anything but armies. Like, your towns are you. So you literally just build up your, like, Archeon the Everchosen or whatever the hell his name is, and you just go around and burn down. You don't even take over, you just burn and kill. And I'm like, this is perfect. This is going to be great.
I'm sorry to bring this up, but like I'm forever tainted on hearing the word chaos because all I think is SCP and like literally everyone just screaming chaos, 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 chaos.
Sure.
I don't know if you've seen or played that game.
It's not a fun game. I do not like that game. No,
I know.
Yeah. Did any of you guys wind up playing Thronebreaker? I know Jesse definitely
I
did.
did.
No, I didn't.
Nope. The only Warhammer anything I've played is Vermintide and Vermintide 2.
Oh yeah. I've played.
I don't think I've played any of those
too.
like type of games.
Thronebreaker is the new like story-based Gwent game that came out.
Oh, this
It's
is
in, like, the Witcher universe.
Oh,
Gotcha.
I heard about
It's
that.
super
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
It's like-
heads up, I was paid to play it, just so that everybody knows. Bias.
You play as
But-
like a dope ass queen, and you
yeah.
wreck house.
Neve.
But it's not necessarily about the card game. It's more about puzzle versions of the card game.
Yeah. It throws you into a lot of. So I hadn't played Gwent really since Witcher 3, and it's changed a lot the way that you play the game, and I prefer it so much more now. Like the way that it's played in Thronebreaker, I think is so much better and so much more intuitive.
They went back and changed everything.
Everything is different in that game now. Yeah, it's great. But you're right. Like this game, it has kind of like an isometric view, and you walk around and you get supplies to like build up your army. And you go through a story, and you have all of these different puzzle matches that you have to go through that have different constraints or have only give you like a specific deck, and it'll say, you know, in order to win, you have to kill all of them with just these cards, or in order to win, you have to only kill this one card and none of the other cards can be killed, right? Like different.
But it's also like weird stuff. So it's like 3 boulders are rolling at the queen and you have to stop them from hitting her, or there's a plagued cow and it's surrounded by other cows and you have to kill it but not damage the other cows, like that kind of thing. So you have to use strategy, and a lot of the time it's like playing once to figure out how terrible you are and then playing through it again to be like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like try to understand what the rules are, because you don't necessarily know until you try the fight.
So it's like more mission based than just like, here's an AI with some cards you have to go against.
Yeah.
There's like
you have normal games, but
yeah, there are 2 or 3 big battles like that where you have to play the game, but the vast majority of it is a one turn, or not one turn, but like one round battle where it's like whoever wins this wins the round kind of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds really neat.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through a map and I was like, oh, does this mean I'm halfway through the game? And everyone was like, no, this is the first map. You're halfway through the first map out of many maps. And I was like, oh.
The reason why I knew that going in is because the title screen of the game, the main character looks a little bit different. No spoils, but like I was like, hold on, I don't look like that. So
I see.
I assume I've got some ways to go.
Right. Have you been no spoilsies for people watching, but have you been kind Queen Meave or have you been hard ass Queen Meave?
I've been a mix. Like there's sometimes like, so there's one part where a bunch of humans killed like elves and stuff, and I was like,
yes,
yo, if you killing people, I'm killing you.
Yeah,
like don't kill people. But if it's a lesser crime, I'm like, all right, you crazy kids, go run off, go have fun.
Yeah, I was really pissed because that's what I did too. I was like, if people are murdering other people, then I'm going to be hard ass Queen Meave and I'm going to be like, hang them all, right? But there was a situation that happened where I was like, I think I can let this slide because no one died. Like no one was hurt, no one died. So I'm just going to say, yeah, it's fine, whatever. So, and then immediately after that, Meave, like in the story was like, well, as long as you realize that your choices have caused people to suffer, maybe even to die. And I was like, what? No, I thought no one died. I betrayed myself. I was really upset.
There's actually legit choices in the game.
Yeah.
It's just like Witcher. It has the exact same...
But
kind of like morally gray, like both choices could lead to bad things or good things kind of thing.
It was actually more in depth than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's... CD Projekt never just kind of like tiptoes into a thing. Just like, we're going to make a Gwent game, and then we're going to make a Gwent game that has a story, and it's going to have 5 maps, and there's going to be choices, and you can build an army. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a game that existed, God, 3 years ago, 2 years ago at E3, I played it. And just like with Witcher 3, it takes years for them. They're like, yeah, no, we have a game, it's finished. They're like, cool, I can't wait. It'll be done in 3 years, though. We still need to polish it. It's like, what?
Right.
But they do that all the time. So, yeah, it's super fun. You just have to be down for the Gwent game, like, because that's the majority of the game is playing Gwent, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not into card games, it doesn't matter how good the actual walking around and doing stuff and interacting with people and making choices and managing your, like, there's a camp where you can manage your army. And you can determine what cards you have. Or you can determine what you build. One of the things you can do right off the bat is build a scout post where you can pay 50 gold to have scouts go around the map and find where the treasure is. So instead of looking for it, you can just like
the first thing I did.
Yeah, same here.
I was like, this is great. Yeah, that's why like the first thing I said was the Gwent in this game is so different from the Gwent in Witcher 3. Because if you're like me and you were just not, and it was just not connecting for you how to like really play Gwent in Witcher 3, I think it's still worth giving it a shot in Gwent, like the actual Gwent game, and also in Thronebreaker, because it's so different.
Well, the game is just math. The game in Witcher 3 is just math. It's like math and rows and determining if you have more numbers than the other team. I loved that. I thought it was so great. It's my kind of mini game. But the Gwent they created as the standalone card game, they definitely went along the line of like Magic and or Hearthstone or like card games that each card has a specific, has a little bonus extra stuff to it. But they also included the gold cards and silver cards and bronze cards and hero. It was overly complicated and really crazy. And so then they tried to simplify it. And what they did is they pissed off all of the hardcore players by simplifying the game. So they literally 6 months ago said, we're not updating anything. We're like on our end, we're not doing anything else. And in 6 months, we're going to release the game completely different. And they released it with Thronebreaker as like, this is our new version. And so in Thronebreaker, you'll notice there are only 2 rows instead of 3. And like things are different. All the cards are changed. They went back through and they took out, I can't remember if they took out gold or silver cards. They took out one of the cards and sort of melded everything. They just went back through and were like, we're going to change it and make this game better. And I think that's really cool.
It takes guts to do something like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
To really tear something apart and rebuild it.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
People are saying that a lot about Twitter right now. It takes a lot of guts for Twitter to get rid of the like button.
That's
for
just,
discourse, for positive discourse.
Is that actually
said, like, what they're gonna do instead?
I don't know what the plan is.
Assuming they're
there.
gonna go with like the YouTube style, where it's like thumbs up and thumbs down type of thing. If they're gonna take out the like button, I mean, otherwise.
What is that like? Sometimes.
I don't. Yeah.
Admittedly, there's some times where someone will post a thing that's really, really sad, and I want to be supportive, so I'll hit the like. But I feel weird because it's like I like your pain, right? I feel weird about it.
Yes.
Well, back in the day, it was a little star. It wasn't a heart, and those have different.
Yeah. It was a favorite and not a like.
Yeah. Like I want to be able to add this to a list of all my favorite tweets instead of I like this. It made it more casual. It'd be like I'm gonna click the little button. It's nice.
I would like to revisit this in the future, maybe.
Yeah. What do they do? What would they do now?
Yeah.
What is the point?
I don't know.
I'm assuming
What's the point of Twitter?
Be different types of reactions.
Anger,
fighting with people.
That's in their manifesto,
retweet
right?
Or you can thumbs down, and that's it. If you really like it, have the courage to retweet that shit. Otherwise,
I was talking about that with Octo actually. I was staying with Octo at for TwitchCon, and he was saying like pretty much the same thing. Like, man, it's going to be so hard, like to even get retweets because people have to really think if they want to retweet if there's nothing else, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Octo's gonna have to really deep dive on those memes. He wants those retweets.
Is there anywhere deeper he can go?
I don't know if he can get deeper, but
once you have like 4 or 5 different memes swirling together, I don't know how much further down the rabbit hole you can fall. But
I have faith. If anyone can do it, Octopimp can do it.
He'll just end up on YTMND.
Oh my God! Can we full circle back to YTMND?
Oh, that's where he'll be. You'll see him on there.
Shit.
Oh,
it's time to
punch
go back.
the keys for God's sake.
We have to go deeper. Man. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's been like a big release that any of us might have played or anything that we're forgetting about.
Did you guys play Valkyria Chronicles 4? No. I tend to play.
You can talk about it though. But yeah.
Well, I mean, it was my first Valkyria Chronicles and first type of like, I guess you can say XCOM type of gameplay game.
Sure.
I had been loving it. I just got busy with like, you know, TwitchCon and now other games, but it's really good if you guys are interested in those type of games.
Gotcha.
You know.
I'm
lots
bad
of waifus as well.
Lots of what? You know what? If ever something was gonna really get me into XCOM style games, it's waifus.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. I got a bunch of waifus sitting on the floor over there, figurines.
Very nice. Very nice. I just remembered I have a game, even though it just came out today. For a week, we've had access to Call of Cthulhu.
I'm playing it tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Let me just it's a horror game, but not. It is.
not.
It's like a detective style
Yeah, it is.
game in a horror framework, right?
Yeah, it's hard to describe. It's literally like you're playing a pen and paper RPG, but you're doing it in this like crazy AA style horror setting. So the idea is you are a detective who is you have no cases, and this weird crotchety old man is like, my daughter and her husband, they said they died in a fire, but it doesn't make any sense, so I need you to go to this creepy island. And you're like, sure, okay, whatever, man, I'll go. You head out there, and 90% of the game is talking with people and investigating stuff. So
Great.
you talk with people, and they're like, oh, I'm the creepy old innkeeper, and I know this information. And then you can you have a whole tree of abilities. Well, not tree, it's more like a circle of abilities, whatever. But you have like the ability to talk to people better, or the ability to figure out what people are thinking more, things like that. But you also have two special things. One of them is health and how you heal, and how you like discover and look at different things that may hurt or help you. And one of them is the occult. And you cannot level those up by putting points in them. You have to find stuff in the world. So one of the things we learned that probably makes more sense is at the beginning you probably should just you get free points, and they let you put them in there. And we were like, no, we don't need occult stuff now. And now we're just like, okay, well, we have to find stuff to make us learn occult because we don't know anything about it.
Right.
So maybe at the beginning it's easier to like put points into it, but whatever the case may be, you use that stuff when talking with people to unlock new options, to find new story routes, that kind of thing. But while you're doing all of this, you're solving crime. You go into like the special like crime solving mode, and you look around the room, and you can find different layers of how to like solve the crime. And there's the basic layer, and then there's like a little bit more that you can discover if you have the certain abilities to do so. And then while all that's happening, the other 10% of the game is like weird, creepy, crazy shit that like jump scares and things. But they're few and far between, but they definitely happen, and things are actively trying to get you. And there's like some spooky moments as you go, because there's an insanity meter as well. So you slowly start to go insane.
Of course, because it's a Lovecraft game. Yeah, there has to be. Yeah.
So it's fun, but it's definitely a slower, like it's a story. Like you're not, if you're looking for a game where it's like jump scare after jump scare, it's crazy. That's not it at all.
It's weird because I saw that pop up on Steam, but then the review said mixed, but now that I look at the page, it says mostly positive. So I don't know if they put out a patch to fix some things or anything.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe when it like first released, there were some bugs or something.
Huh.
And they were like, whoops.
There were definitely some really ridiculous gameplay, not bugs with the game, but like the way some of the characters look and talk and act. It definitely has that like AAA Eurojank vibe where they're like, things and their mouth is like moving, but not. Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
yeah. Well, yeah. Jenna last week was saying that Frogwares, the guys who make the Sherlock Holmes games, were originally going to make this game, which it would have just been like a gorgeous, janky nightmare.
That's kind of what it is.
So,
I mean, that's
so I'm assuming that they didn't really like take too much of a step higher than that. But I'm excited. I'm getting Sam to play that with me tomorrow night. So
are you gonna do it together?
Yeah, I'm really jazzed.
As in like online, or are you guys gonna be in the same room?
We're gonna like scoot the futon like right up against here and just like
they're gonna
that's
be
awesome.
in two different rooms and each other.
Sam's gonna tell me what to do, and I'm gonna. It's gonna work. I swear.
Sam's gonna be with the baby, actually.
Yeah.
On the baby cam.
Oh. She'll be asleep. We have a little bat costume for her.
Oh.
I know. It's so cute.
So was Call of Cthulhu out already,
Yes.
or is
It's out?
Oh, okay.
As of
It just
yesterday.
came out today.
Gotcha.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Was it today?
Today, yesterday.
I think it came out
Now-ish.
yesterday.
Okay.
It's
cool.
out.
It's out.
Yeah.
Out of sight.
Out of sight.
Yeah. How far did we get without a dab?
Nearly 2 hours. You
Oh,
almost
man.
had 2 hours without me dabbing.
That's decent.
Incredible.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess let's talk about any games that are going to be coming out that people are excited about. I need to bring up a listicle. I was gonna already have this up and then I didn't do it. But I feel like we talked about something while we were going over news, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but
I think
I had something I wanted to bring up.
yeah.
They announced the full lineup for the PlayStation Mini, and everyone's just kind of
Yeah, I felt the same.
It was suspicious when they announced it without the full software lineup. They're like, here's the Jumpin' Jackrabbit game. That'll be on there. And everyone's like, are we going to have Metal Gear? Are we going to have Symphony of the Night? What are we going to have? And then they put out the full list. And it's just kind of... And I'm in the perfect demographic for this because I grew up with no PlayStation, but my friends had PlayStations.
Right.
I had an N64.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a whole library of games I would love to have and put on my shelf and be like, I can play those, but I never will. And now I'm looking at them like, I already own most of those games that I wanted to have played. So it's weird. It's a weird list.
Yeah, I didn't even know about
It's
that.
Twisted Metal 1, but not Twisted Metal 2. It's like
Odd. Yeah, that is weird.
no Spyro, no Crash, because those are getting their HD remasters, so I guess they didn't want to steal sales from themselves. It's weird. I don't know.
I think it could be just like licensing issues, maybe as well.
I think that's definitely part of it. That
Maybe.
Sony,
Maybe.
not really until like the PS2 did they have really strong first party stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the PS1 was good third party jams, but yeah, it's weird. I mean, they got Metal Gear on there, so I'm happy, but I'd be happier if there was,
I'm upset there's no Legend of Dragoon on there.
there's no Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon. I don't know if you guys.
Oh, I totally.
played.
Oh my god, I
forgot
totally
about that
played
game?
that. Yeah.
So
Oh.
good. Yeah. See, like I don't know, like when even Octo was saying this, like when he saw the list, it just didn't scream out PlayStation 1 titles. It just
Sure.
it just screamed out. It's like some of the stuff that was good.
Yeah, there's no Silent Hill. There's a lot of stuff that you think of when you think of PS1 that's not there.
Do you think that
So-
that's because so many of the titles that were really big on PS1 have either been remastered and are available anyway, or have like
Or
migrated?
plans.
I think a lot of it is that it's licensing, like what Alex was saying, that it's a lot of games that either just got HD remasters or are about to. Because there's that like Castlevania Rondo Symphony of the Night thing that's coming out at some
Yeah.
point. So I feel like they just went to every dev and they were just kind of like, we got our own thing going on. Like re-releasing old shit is big right now. So, it's a weird time. I don't know. I might still get one. I just don't know. It's less definitive than the NES and SNES minis were, where it's like there are some weird omissions with them, but overall you're like, those are good.
Mm-hmm.
You got most of what you want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Today, Call of Cthulhu and Mutant Football League came out.
okay.
That's apparently like a major release, but I don't.
It's super fun. I played it at I don't remember what convention it was earlier this year, but it's just like the old one. It is ridiculous and over the top, and it's mutants and undead and robots beating the crap out of each other. It's cool.
Cool.
Big releases probably coming up would be, I mean, if we want to talk about Nintendo,
Yeah, of course.
Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and
Oh
Eevee.
yeah. When does that come out?
The 16th of November. I played it at E3 and I was actually somewhat surprised. It's very simplified though. Very, very, very simplified. And it apparently works with your Pokemon Go lineup. That's why a lot of people are like going crazy on that.
Right. The Quiet Man is coming out November 1st.
I'm excited
That
for that.
looks so weird.
It's
I'm
so
excited
weird.
for that. Hey, psst,
What is
Yeah.
that?
No, we.
psst, Duke, play that with me.
I will.
That game showing at E3 was so bizarre.
Really
Right?
weird, right? Yeah.
Like, but that makes me more intrigued than like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. So that's weird.
Overkill's The Walking Dead is another one that's coming out early November. That's like a first person shooter Walking Dead game, right?
Zombies in a video game? What will they think of next?
I
never
know.
heard
What
of
year
that.
is it?
Never seen that type of game before.
Yeah.
There's another FMV game called The Shape-Shifting Detective. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
It is by the same
Yo.
team that did Dr. Decker.
It's the same. Yeah, I was just gonna say this absolutely looks like the same group.
Yes,
And
they
Aislinn
brought back-
Death is in there.
Yeah, they brought back all my favorites, even our delightful Jenks. Even though it's not him. Oh man,
He's
I'm
not
ready for it.
Jenks, but he's Jenks.
Yeah, but it's Jenks. Let's not pretend that it's not
Let's
Jenks.
be real.
Why is 2018 the year that FMVs are returning?
They're just doing well. And then people are like, wait, but FMVs are easier to make than normal video games. What the fuck? And then they're making
it's
FMV
so-
games.
It's so weird. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know how to feel.
I love
I
them.
get
They're
to
my
see.
favorite.
I love them. Yeah, they're so
Yeah.
fun. Jesse and I are super into them, so we've just been playing them together. They're great though. Yeah,
It's
you're
just
right. You're right
bizarre.
though. They've just like kind of popped up, and I think they had a feeling of these games are too weird. Like you can't mix like a UI and full motion video together without it feeling weird. And then people started doing it again, and everyone's going, that's not that weird. It's actually kind of fun. So more and more people are making it.
Yeah, because Super Seducer was earlier this year. And that
They're
blew
making a
up.
second one. Did you hear?
I didn't
there's
play
a
the first
second
one,
one.
and I'm not gonna play the second one. So good luck to them.
I had to drop the first one like within like an hour. I was like, okay, I can't take this anymore.
It's so
Yeah.
oh
Like I
my
just did it
God.
because like, haha, I'm playing the game that everyone's doing. Haha, it's really funny. And then after an hour, I was like, okay, this guy, I can't stand him. I'm all these things that he's doing as well. I'm done.
It's so hard to watch. It's not even like it's a combination of his read on situation. Like when you make a choice, his read on it is so skewed and bizarre that you're like, I don't even know how to do this in a way where it makes any sense, right? Like beyond the fact that it's just gross. Like it's also like I can't even make a choice and know what's gonna happen, right? Like
That almost seems to me like you had the Pony Island dev, and then they made the Hex. Maybe the third game's gonna be FMV. Seems like a perfect genre to make some crazy shit.
I think so.
Yeah, just complete surreal nonsense. So
Jesse and I have joked before about making an FMV, but like it's
really
kind of
want
it's
to.
partially like not a joke though.
Please.
It's like kind of
Please.
not a joke.
do it.
Any of you who are super into the Football Manager games, which you guys are gonna laugh, but people are super into those games. Football Manager 2019 comes out November 2nd as well. It is currently
Hell
10% off if you want to pre-order it, I guess. So there's that.
Monster Prom FMV edition.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
the Halloween DLC just came out today. It is totally free, and there is a brand new ending that may or may not feature a rap.
Oh shit.
So I'm just
What
letting
if
you know.
it doesn't? What if it doesn't? And then you just
It
said
definitely features a rap, and it's definitely Scott and Polly rapping about being prank masters, and it's great with a Z.
Amazing. I love it.
awesome.
Oh, I want to play Monster Prom again. It's been a while.
I never got the chance to play it actually.
It's a competitive dating sim. You should.
You should try.
Grab Duger, play.
Yeah.
I had a good time playing it. Hashtag got a code from Jesse. Hashtag biased answer.
Yeah, hashtag
Hashtag
I'm a
very
voice
much.
in that game. Hashtag biased.
Hashtag I produced it. So when you buy it, I get money, so thanks.
Yes. Great. Yeah, so there's some games coming out. They're going to be fun.
There's a Smash Direct, I think, tomorrow?
Oh,
Thursday?
sick.
Something?
Well, there you go.
Are they
Yeah.
adding another 10 characters? No. I think they're done on adding characters.
They're never
I mean,
done.
it's they just announced it this morning. It's supposed to be like 40 minutes long or something, so they'll have
Wow.
stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot going on. I'm sure Sam will watch that. He's going to be jazzed.
It's at 7 a.m. Pacific.
Oh, fuck.
Gotta wake up
Can't
like a normal person.
do that.
I can't.
Can't
For
do
anybody
that.
who doesn't know, Alex is a nighttime streamer. So him even joining us today at this hour, I was surprised and delighted. So
I'm not gonna lie. I kept my phone off vibrate. I said, I texted my mom, said, Mom, could you be my alarm? I
oh,
need you to call me and make sure I'm awake because I don't wake up at these times.
that's really cute. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Eric's mom,
Thanks, Mom.
for making
Yeah,
sure that
shout
he was
outs.
here today.
Shoutouts to Alex's mom.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Alex's mom. Hell yeah.
Plug her Twitter. What's her
Plug
Twitter?
her Twitter.
The number one mom.
Aw, adorable.
Oh,
I'm
that's
so
cute.
cheesy.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for being on the podcast today. Barry, again, would you like to tell everybody where they can find you, what's coming up for you, if you have any big
Yeah.
projects you're working on or anything like that?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm on twitch.tv/BarryIsStreaming because I'm very clever. And on YouTube, it's just youtube.com/Barry Kramer. If you know my name,
Hell
you can find my
yeah.
stuff.
Delightful.
I've been working on a Kingdom Hearts video because I don't understand it. And I'm trying to work through my emotions.
I
so I've
like
been working on
it.
a video.
Yeah, I will love that
quite a
video
while.
then because I'm also highly confused by Kingdom Hearts.
Come
Yeah.
on and just like sing Simple and Clean with you. I will duet that song with you.
Yeah, I recorded a cover of Simple and Clean for a stream I did earlier in the year. So yeah, I can do
Perfect. Yeah.
a follow up to it. No, I want to. Next, they have to cover the Kingdom Hearts 2, whatever
Not
that's.
nearly as good. Not as good.
No, but it's got the backwards talking, so it's like that's
You're
fun.
right. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but so I'm working on that. I've been streaming myself working on it. I've been doing creative streams, trying to get it done because I'm basically recapping the story, even though I haven't played most of the games, and I'm drawing all the art for it, and I'm just very slow at drawing Sora because these like. If you've played those games, they're just like, oh, I know what they look like. If you try to actually draw them, though, there's so much random detail
Right.
that's part. Like the nobodies, I'm just gonna cut myself off. Just
Wow.
their designs are so bad, and just having to be like, wait, how does the nobody's head is like a zipper mouth with the mouth inside of it, and their forehead is a crazy complicated design.
Right.
Cool. I'm glad I get to draw this 100 times. Anyway, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Now we
Thank you
know.
for
Now
having
we
me on the
know.
podcast.
No, I'm glad that some of that passion came out because now when people watch the video, they're gonna shed a tear, being like, "Barry worked so hard on this.
He
Barry
worked so hard.
on this."
Dislike.
Twitter
thumbs down
dislike,
button.
retweet, thumbs down. What about you, Alex? What's coming up for you? What are you gonna be playing? Where are you gonna be spending your time streaming, etc.?
So I stream and don't have a life. I usually stream like 12 hours a day. You can find me at TheNo1Alex. I think it's like right here.
It is. It's written
Exactly
right on your little
there.
screen. So.
I got Fallout 76. I'm gonna be binging on that pretty hard, especially when the release comes out. I'm gonna be playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh my gosh.
Like everyone else, because I mean, I'm actually having fun with it. I do a lot of Japanese titles. Like I'm gonna be probably going to Japan in December, so I'll be doing IRL streams out there. I do that
Awesome.
a
They're
lot.
super fun to watch. His IRL streams in Japan are super cool. So.
But yeah. Also, by the way, random. If you guys might recognize me or my name, but TB actually rated me after the game, the lying game. Ugh, God, what is it called?
Which game?
What is it called? It's on a tabletop simulator. Jesus, I'm like blanking on the name.
Secret Hitler?
Yeah, Secret Hitler.
Oh!
That's my first stream. I had 20,000 people pop in my stream, and you guys like surprised the hell out of me. I was flipping out.
Wow.
This was like still baby Alex back then. Hi, if you guys maybe recognize me from back then.
Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome. It all
Yes,
comes
that
full
was-
circle, man. amazing.
So it was actually kind of surreal when you asked me to be on like, you know, the co-optional podcast. It was just crazy, you know. So I don't know, it's just weird to be on this, and I'm really happy. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for saying yes. I'm so
Yes.
glad we got to have you on here. Jesse, what's going on with you? What's happening on your channel this week?
Man, who knows? I'll figure it out. There's a lot of fun stuff. You know, you got your scary game squad. You got your like Jesse playing a thing. I made a video last night where I literally, it's 3 minutes of me talking about the Jake Paul video. Y'all, who knows what I'm going to make?
Oh.
Who knows what I'm going to do?
Literally last night I booted up Mirror, that fucking like nudie game, because I was like, I think it keeps telling me that there's
After you said there was a new character, I went back and played that too.
I was like, I think that they've added some stuff to this game, and I opened it. Jesse literally immediately messaged me through Steam and was like, I see you. I see what you're playing.
I want you to know I see you playing.
I see you playing this fucking game. Yeah, and eventually told me that he had a new video. That's why I thought of it. But
Yeah. So it's 3 minutes of your life if you want to get on the ground floor of what I think is the greatest mystery of all time. Put it out. Put it out there.
yeah, it's good stuff. For me, I'm just doing my normal streams. You can find me at Dex Bonus on pretty much everything. I stream almost every day. I've started doing some night streams, including tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a Halloween stream with my husband, Sam, and we're going to play some Call of Cthulhu. So very excited about that. But yeah, also be sure to follow Jenna, who is normally the helm of this show recently. She is currently doing stuff with Activision and Blizzcon and all that sort of stuff, and left it in my care. So hopefully I did it justice. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me and for watching the show. I believe that everything will be back to normal next Tuesday.
Did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, guys. Aw. So yeah, have a fantastic day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching the Co-optional Podcast, and we will see you next time. Okay, bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I'm waving.